Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about why I'm skipping Moon Knight. And I'm going to give you the reason I'm doing it, and I want to know what your opinion is on this, how you feel about this subject. So let's get into it. All right, so Moon Knight, it just dropped on Disney Plus. I have Disney Plus. I have watched every single. So I've watched all of the Marvel movies except one, and all the Marvel movies in the MCU except one. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. And I have watched every single one of the television shows that they've dropped on every single one of the shows that they've dropped onto Disney Plus, because they were intended very directly to be a very direct extension of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's only one movie that I've ever skipped, and that is Eternals. I skipped it, and the reason why was when I saw the trailer, and I saw the trailer, and then I know who Chloe Zhao is because I listened to Grace Randolph. She's a tremendous movie reviewer, and Chloe Zhao is a very skilled director who makes art house films, right? And when I saw that, I watched her movie, I think it was called Nomads, which was about people who travel to the United States of America. It was incredibly sad and dark, and it really depressed me, right? And so I was like, okay, I've seen what this woman can do. I see her artistic vision, but I don't want to be sad and depressed after watching a Marvel movie, right? And I was like, that Eternals looks terrible, and absolutely no one that I trust assured me that it was good. So like, I feel like I dodged a bullet on that one, right? So basically, but generally, with very few exceptions, I don't skip Marvel content, right? Because I want to understand the cohesive world, right? But we are truly living in a new time. I think the best way to describe our current day is customary chaos. We simply jump from crisis to crisis, right? And this is really reshaping our lives, right? And so one of the things is I'm actually, so here's the thing. I would love to watch Moon Knight. It's Marvel content. I want to know what's happening in the Marvel universe, right? Also, I'm a huge fan of Oscar Isaacs. He was awesome in Ex Machina. He was awesome in Dune. He was awesome as Poe Dameron, right? He is an incredibly skilled actor, and I really enjoy his work, right? So there are multiple reasons why I should just jump in and enjoy Moon Knight, but I can't, and here's why. Again, I watched the trailer, okay? And one of the things that's very clear is the character that Oscar Isaacs plays does not have control of his faculties. Specifically, he doesn't have control of his faculties, okay? He doesn't remember where he is at times. He doesn't have control of his memory. He doesn't have control of his perceptions, right? And what the show is saying is he is a superhero. So what it's saying is, if you don't have control of your faculties, you can be a superhero, right? Now, I read comic books, and I have since I was 8 years old, I think. I think The Punisher was the first comic I bought on the rack, right? And I loved it. It was so good. And so that would have been 1978. Was The Punisher around then? Well, I'm gonna have to look that one up. All right. So basically, I read superhero stories because I have this idea that I would like to be a hero, right? And for a very small few people in the world, I have been able to do that at certain times for a very limited amount of periods, right? I've been able to be a hero for someone in small ways, right? And so I read comic books to see how superheroes live their lives and how they do noble deeds, right? So that I can do noble deeds and I can be a hero just for small, brief, even for a few moments for someone, right? I can be the hero, right? And I just can't move forward on this Moon Knight story, and the reason why is it's insulting to me right now in this period, right? And the reason why is, like, I work very hard, and I'm super blessed, to be in the position I'm in, but increasingly I'm just struggling to achieve the things that I saw my father do, right? And frankly, I can't. I'm failing left and right. I cannot do the things my father did, right? So here's the list, right? He took us to Disney World in Florida, right? I remember just having this amazing period. I've never been able to take my family on a vacation to Disney World. We can't. We just don't have the money, right? This super simple thing: siding on our house. We've owned our house for 20 years, right? Like we have, so we're purchasing our home just like most Americans. And we've been there for 20 years, right? But it's puke green. It has this puke green, like slate on it. It's just terrible, right? And so some, person came to the door and said, let us give you, and so it was like tens of thousands of dollars, right? And they're like, we can't do that, right? And so just simple things like putting siding on the house, taking your kids to Disney World. Here's a no. Like my dad gave me a car when, he's like, here's some old, and it wasn't even a junker. It was just one of their old cars, right? My youngest daughter just got her driver's license, right? I have a car with 180,000 miles on it. And, if President Biden wasn't our president, right? Like, I would have just handed her that car and said, here you go. But now that $180,000 near junker is 180,000 mile near junker is this precious commodity, right? Because even used cars are selling for tens of thousands of dollars over what they did even 6 months ago, right? And so used cars have prices that really look exactly like new cars. And there are stories of Ford F-150s selling for $50,000 over asking at dealerships. Like, it is like we are in a world of customary chaos, right? Where chaos is simply the norm now, and crisis to crisis to crisis. And so I have my faculties. I have control of my faculties, and I struggle to do even the basic things that my father did as a layup, right? And so I just cannot sign on to watch a superhero who just bumbles into superheroism, right? Does not even control his faculties and routinely just helps people, right? Because I'm trying to help people and I have control of my faculties, right? I can't watch this nonsense that people who cannot control their faculties can just excel and achieve things that people don't have their faculties can't do, right? I just am too sensitive because of the world we currently live in I'm offended by the Moon Knight story. And it's this problem because my son's really excited. He wants to watch it. And I told him, I was like, on this one, you go ahead, bud. We watch a lot of them together. And I was just like, because I don't want to drag him down with my opinion on this. But I'm literally offended by the concept of Moon Knight. And so, I just can't, right? Because it just makes me sad and depressed, right? That's my take on Moon Knight. Here's my question. How are you doing compared to your parents, right? Are you excelling past them? If so, how did you get there? How did you do it, right? And then also, how are you managing your own struggles in this world of customary chaos? How do you move forward without certain things like this just being a trigger, right? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.